Mr. James, thank you so much. Great job. An event like this doesn't just happen. This takes weeks and weeks and weeks of preparation. So there's a ton of people to thank. First of all, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Carrie Hurd and Ann Stubbs. Let's give them a round of applause. They are the counselors. Secondly, I'd like to thank the many, many staff members who are here. It's a partnership. It is a partnership between you, the parents, the students, and the staff. We have a great staff here at OW Best. Could you please join me in thanking them? Probably the most important person to thank is Mr. Nickel, who got the air conditioning working today. So, one of the things that happens is, this is my 39th year in education, and you see classes come, you see classes go, and some classes are better than others. This is a fabulous class. I want to appreciate how good they are. Fabulous class. Well, it's my honor to go ahead, and every year I do this, and this is one of the things that I look forward to the most in my career is doing this presentation. To get to be a 4.0 student takes commitment, it takes consistency, and it takes talent. This year we have one young lady who was absolutely stunning for 3 years. She is a 4.0 student. She does our announcements. She's just a fabulous gal. Would you please join me in honoring Whitney Matthews? Instead of giving her a pin, I should give her sunglasses, because that's how bright this young lady's future is. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome Dr. Claudia Porcheller, who's going to give out the MEEP Awards.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I just want to say a couple words about this class. I agree completely with Mr. Z. Today it kind of hit me as we were doing locker cleanout that it's almost over, and I will miss each and every one of you. I'm so proud of you all, and I hope you keep doing what you've been doing. Work hard, enjoy the rest of your high school career. I have the pleasure this evening of presenting the MEEP Awards. All of our students and students across Michigan take the MEEP test. At middle school in the 8th grade, 8th graders take the reading test, the mathematics test, and the science test. And this year we have 2 students in the 8th grade who scored 1s, the highest scores possible, on the MEEP test. And so please join me in congratulating Jacob Grisbenek and Daniel Sheridan.
Good evening. All of you are 8th graders for a half day. Then you guys are going to be in high school next year, 9th grade. The minute you walk in those doors, everything counts, everything matters. In 8th grade, you guys all took the ACT Explore test. It's a practice ACT test to get you ready for the next stage of your life, which is college, okay? So we have several students that we want to honor who got perfect scores on parts of the ACT Explore test. The ACT score, or the ACT test is out of 25. All of these students I'm gonna call up got a perfect score. That's fantastic. These students are on the right track for college, for scholarships. You guys need to keep up the good work. This is a huge accomplishment. So when I call your name, come on up. Drake Christensen for a perfect score in English. Conrad Dixon for a perfect score in science. Sabrina Watson for a perfect score in English. Sorry, I misspoke, for a perfect score in math. Alyssa Martinez for a perfect score in science. And Anthony, I know I'm not going to pronounce your last name correctly, so you have to correct me when you come up. Anthony Pojol for a perfect score in English. Anthony Podagil, thank you. Again, this is a huge accomplishment. All of you students have a lot to be proud of. Keep up the good work because you are on the way to a successful future. And now I'd like to introduce Mrs. LeBeau and Mrs. Mosier for the Leadership Awards.
Mrs. LeBeau's making me talk, and you know how hard that is for me to do. I would like Shane Daniels and Emily Loftus and Sabrina Watson to join us here on stage while we brag about you. And that is why he's getting this award. These three are amazing. They don't ask people to follow them. They draw people to them. They are humble and the absolute epitome of integrity. People naturally look to them for guidance, for an example, and they never disappoint. So Emily, Sabrina, and Shane, you are amazing leaders among your class. All right. To give the Most Improved Student Award, I would like to introduce Ms. Slazak and Mrs. Papanastasopoulos.
We are presenting the awards for Most Improved Student, or students. There are 4 students receiving this award tonight. Each of these students has faced obstacles on the path to being successful, and each of them have pushed the obstacles aside and have seen success in the classroom despite everything that stood in his or her way. This year's recipients of the Most Improved Student are Nick Boskowski, Blake Cottingen, Darius Lanier, and Haley Wilson. introduce Ms. Lessinger and Mrs. Moran.
Good evening. Tonight we are presenting the award for kindness and character. The students who were nominated for this award are truly the best of OW Best. Words that I would use to describe them would be incredibly kind, compassionate, caring, giving. They are the students who go above and beyond. They reach out to everybody regardless of their social status. They truly are just very kind and generous and wonderful young men and women. Let's see here. I think that's pretty much it. I can speak, I guess, for all the 8th grade teachers and just say that we are so grateful to have had the opportunity to have them this year and just to interact with them and to see how polite and wonderful they truly are. So the students that are receiving kindness and character awards are Zara El-Kafij, Alessandro Barba, Megan Beckman, Sierra Bondi, Brad Cotter, Reginald Craig, Mercy Reyes, Jalen Taylor, and Alexandria Turner. And next up to present extra effort awards are Miss Allen and Mrs. Cotton.
Hello, we would like to welcome you this evening. It's kind of ironic that Ms. Cotton and I are actually standing next to each other right now because we are also happen to be the swim coaches in the building. So it's nice that we get the opportunity to present this award this evening. The two students I would like to talk about for extra effort awards. My position in the building is a little unique. I'm a co-teacher, so I get to teach at all grade levels. This year I've had mainly 8th grade students though, and I did work at the elementary school. So the two students that I'm going to talk about, I have watched grown and shine over the years to 8th grade students and now be ready to move on their way to high school. So I'm super proud of them. I told myself I was not going to cry this evening, so I'm going to work really hard not to while I present the awards to them. Bishkoshki, Nick Bishkoshki, can you please come up here? And Jacqueline Brown.
say from someone who's worked with many of these students for years to someone who only had them for a semester. I would like to award the Extra Effort Awards to 2 students who stood out in my class. First being Sarah Boyer. Sarah frequently comes up to me and will stay after in lunch to ask me some questions, and she'll hang out as soon as she comes back from lunch to make sure that she talks to me and asks a couple more questions. So she definitely puts forth extra effort. And the other student, Conrad Dixon. This semester, I had him first semester, but he still makes an effort to come back and see me on an occasional basis and make sure that he still has his Spanish skills and he's still using those. So, good job, Conrad. And up next for Outstanding Student Awards, Ms. Bodis and Mr. McKinney.
Ms. Bodis and I are pleased to give the Outstanding Student Awards to 4 people. The first 2 I call the Lewis and Clark of OW Best, because they're always together and they can be found going to Miss P's class early every morning. That's Carol Roberts and Whitney Matthews. The next student is the most organized leader, and she's fantastic as a group person and everything, and that is Sabrina Watson. In my years here at OW Best, I've never seen a kid with as much focus as Anthony Potagil, and I only have him in my MP Squared class where he can read a book no matter what's going on. This young man, he can stick to a task. Anthony, come on up. Good job. I'll see the rest of you. Okay, next is Ms. Hurd with the peer mediators.
I'd like to have all the 8th grade peer mediators come up right now. That's Sarah Albadani, Haley Chinchek, Rihanna Francis, Rachel Frazier, Dylan Hotzenpiller, Jada Jones, Emily Loftus, Whitney Matthews, Mihir Patel, and Haley Timmons. For those of you that don't know, peer mediation is a program at OW Best where these students have been trained to help other students resolve conflict. Some of the students up here have been mediators since 6th grade. Some of them are new this year, but all of them have shown dedication, maturity, and have been positive role models to their peers. I will definitely miss having them here next year, but for the qualities they've displayed in their 3 years here at OW Best, I know they will all be very successful in the high school and beyond. So thank you all. to Miss Slazak. She's going to be presenting the awards for National Junior Honor Society.
This outstanding group of National Junior Honor Society students has many accomplishments of which to be proud. Membership in the National Junior Honor Society requires commitment to scholarship, character, leadership, citizenship, and service. This group of students has done an excellent job committing to these 5 characteristics. Each member here tonight has maintained a cumulative grade point average of at least a 3.0. These students have participated in a school beautification project that cleaned up the courtyard, here at Best, creating a comfortable environment for our duck friend to raise her babies. NJHS made Christmas for needy families in Dearborn Heights a little brighter by organizing the Salvation Army Angel Tree. The Angel Tree collected nearly 50 presents for children who otherwise might not have had a Christmas. These NJHS students also counted over $1,700 worth of change by hand for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's Pennies for Patients program. In addition to all of these group projects, each National Junior Honor Society student is required to complete 2 hours of individual community service in the months of September through May. So as a group, these students have participated in over 700 hours of service in our community this year. Tonight, all of you 8th grade members graduate from the National Junior Honor Society. You are no longer members, but graduate members. It is my hope that all of you will continue your commitment to this organization and apply to the National Honor Society in high school. Congratulations to all of you. You and your families have so much to be proud of. When I call your name, please come up to the stage. Daniel Agar. Nuria Ala. Zara Abidani. Lisandro Barba. Megan Beckman. Nicholas Blakey. Sarah Boyer. Jasmine Cassidy. Joey Cassidy. Haley Chinchak. Reginald Craig. Shane Daniels. Josh Frazier. Benjamin Garibay. Jacob Brisbenick. Ashley Hall. Ishmael. Vanessa Jimenez. Haley Kloss. Tess Costco. Emily Loftus. Sabrina Watson. Sean Marquez. Alyssa Martinez. Whitney Matthews. Chris Miller, you're on deck. Chris Miller. Jackson Mize. Mihir Patel. Raquel Peters. Alexis Richardson. Kara Roberts. Nathan Siemens. Robert Seamus. Daniel Sheridan. Haley Timmons. Timothy Tremblay. Rebecca White. Nakaya Whitsitt. Jocelyn Diop. Timothy Wolf. Mark Zamet. And now I'd like to introduce Mrs. Mosier and Mrs. P.
The school store kids work almost completely without supervision, and they are the picture of honesty. We have not had one single issue with them this year, and some of them have been with school stores since 6th grade. And so it has been fun working with them, and I just wish them all the best at the high school. So if I could have, let me get my list, Nuriat Allah, Sarah Aladani, Sierra Bondi, Shane Daniels, Samantha Derrick, Francis, Chris Hutchcraft, Mihir Patel, Nathan Siemens, Robert Seamus, Megan Smith, and Nicole Smith, and Georgina Taylor, Tim Troutman, and Nikia Whitson. I'd also like to point out that Georgina is going to be the freshman class treasurer, so I recommend her highly. You chose very well, 8th grade class. Thank you for your service. Mr. McGuire and Mr. McKinney will give out the first subject area awards for history.
Hey, I just want to say that I've really enjoyed my first year here at OW Best, and this is by far the best 8th grade class I've ever taught. It's been a pleasure, and we're actually honoring 3 history students from my classes and 3 from Mr. McKinney's classes. And there were so many kids we could have chose, so don't take it personal if you weren't the one selected, but we had some really great, outstanding history students this year. And so I was fortunate to have a few of these from my class. And the first one I'd like to recognize is Shane Daniels. Our leader and the colonel for our reenactment today. And the next person we've seen up here a few times already, Jacob Grisbenek. I'm sure all the teachers would agree, but you just get Jacob to be quiet once in a while. We'll be able to teach a little more. And the last one I've selected is Alyssa Martinez. She's an outstanding student and a pleasure to have in class every day. Goes above and beyond on every assignment, and I saw her do a news anchor program the other day. I'm not going to show any of your bloopers, but she may have a career as a future anchor woman, but she's had a great year for history this year. And Mr. McKinney.
Thank you. I've been here a few more years than Mr. McGuire, but I can second his nomination for you guys among the best classes ever at OW Best. I too have 3 award winners, very different but very good in social studies. The first is my Jeopardy champion, and that would be Dan Sheridan. guarantee you one day he's going to break the buzzer on Jeopardy. Because if you've ever seen him in the review game. Next is the artillery master. We just did a Civil War project, and one of the things was to build a replica cannon. The first day we assigned it, the next day George Taboo comes in with a complete cannon. The class built 5. They were crazy. George is awesome in social studies. Come on up, George. Now the next one's a quiet winner. She always has the right answer, but never volunteers it until everybody's been wrong. And I go, Emily, what do you think? And she goes, oh, I'm gonna get it wrong. Never. All right, so the third winner is Emily Loftus. Great job. Okay, the next awards are the Science Awards given out by Miss Moran and Miss Lessinger.
All 3 of the young men that I have chosen for tonight have such an enthusiasm for science that they just make everybody come to life in the classroom. So my first science recipient is Robert Seamus. Stay here for a minute. Robert, out of all my years of teaching science, we always do a Earth-friendly city where they can make a model, they can do a drawing, they can be as creative as they want to be. Robert was the first computerized Earth-friendly city I've ever had. It was absolutely amazing. And he had his little narration with his little computer images of everything that made his city work. So it was absolutely outstanding. Good job. My second recipient is Daniel Sheridan. Daniel also made an amazing Earth-friendly city. He made an unbelievable model that had the whole entire city with all the people and the trees, and it was wonderfully done. So, good job, Daniel. And last is Sean Marquez. Sean also made an amazing model, but the thing that makes Sean stand out the most is he was always in a group. We do songs for the rock cycle. And it takes a lot of creative ability to be able to put facts about rocks and put it with a catchy tune. And him and Ben were always in a group, and they always brought instruments. I felt like Mr. James half the time. We had guitars in science, and we had flutes, and they were doing these amazing songs. So good job, Sean.
As Mr. McGuire said, it was very hard to choose just 3 students for the Science Award for me. So the 3 that I chose were, the first one is my first hour, and he always gives 100% and is always willing to help. Timmy, great job. Timmy Chambers. And then the other 2 students are in my third hour, and one is very quiet, as we've heard. He doesn't say much, but he always has all the right answers. That is Anthony Potagil. And the last one in my third hour is Nathan Siemens. Nathan does a great job making sure that everything is perfect all the time. And next, presenting the math awards are Mrs. P and Ms. Slazak.
Okay, now I'll talk. Okay, a few of you, first I have to say these pins this year are really, really cool. They are. Okay. They're really cool, so I had to say that. I couldn't narrow it down to just 3 of you. I think this 8th grade class is absolutely amazing. I had to pick 6. That's all I can do. I first want to start with my honors kids. They always try to get me off track in class so they don't have homework. It doesn't work. And Shane just said, how do we do this? Mrs. P, what's the weirdest name you've ever heard? Okay, so I have to talk about a couple of them who show up at 7 a.m. a lot. Whitney. 7 a.m. is really early to start doing that. So, but she shows up, knocks on the door, and says, can you help me? I'm like, sure. So Whitney Matthews is absolutely amazing in math. My next person who shows up even earlier than 7 a lot of times is Nathan Siemens. I think his earliest was probably 6:30. 6:30 is even earlier to do math. Sabrina Watson is not a person who always showed up, but she did every now and then. But she's a 7:30 person. 6:30 way too early. Then I have Hussein al-Sawadi. Is he even here? He's really good in math too. Mark Zaman. He is the quietest child around, but he is absolutely worried about every grade he can get. Did I miss anybody? I did receive. Oh, I do have one more. Jacob Crispinett. Which I finally can say his name, so that's pretty good. Jacob didn't show up very early.
My 3 nominees for the Math Award are the type of student that any math teacher would love to have in his or her classroom. They have a desire to learn, math specifically, but they have a desire to learn. They want to learn. When I give them back a test or a quiz, they're at my desk asking questions. Well, how did I get this wrong? What did I do wrong? And that's like a dream for a teacher to have a student who actually wants to do better. So my 3 awards go to Megan Beckman, Alice Ishmael, and Darius Lear. And now I would like to introduce Mrs. Cotton.
Hola. Tonight we take time to honor some of the students who did a most exceptional job during the past year. Learning a foreign language comes naturally to some people and is more difficult for others. These students I would like to honor tonight are not necessarily the people that Spanish came the easiest to, but the people who put forth the most effort into learning the language. These people often took it upon themselves to ask questions and create more learning opportunities for themselves and for others. They would use as much Spanish as possible and strive to learn more. These students are Gino Raul Crenshaw, Shane Orlando Daniels, Sean Marco Marquez, Gabriela Martin. And Georgina Esmeralda Taylor. There's also a second group of students I would like to honor. Estos estudiantes entraron en mi clase de español ya hablando el idioma español y tenían opciones. Ellos eligieron ser ejemplos, modelos y líderes, mientras otros solo pusieran poco esfuerzo. Esos estudiantes demostraban orgullo por su idioma y su cultura. Ellos con frecuencia hacen preguntas que me ponían a pensar en mejores formas de explicar algo o de usar otros vínculos culturales entre los demás. Ellos ayudaban a los demás cuando no entendían y llegaban a ser maestros por sí mismos. Así que el nombre de este premio es el orgullo, porque esos estudiantes demuestran orgullo de su lengua materna y su cultura, y también son un orgullo nuestro aquí en OW Best. We all got that, right? Just in case you didn't, these are students who entered my class already knowing Spanish, and they had a choice. They could be leaders, models, examples to other students, and where other students just call this an easy class, they put forth little effort. They demonstrated pride in their language and in their culture. They would frequently ask questions that would make me think about better ways to explain something or other cultural links for our topics. They would help others when they were struggling and become teachers themselves. So the name of this award is Pride, because these students demonstrate such a pride in their native language and culture, and they're also a pride of ours here at OW Best. And these students are Lisandro Enrique Barba, Juliana Sofia Calgari, and Gerardo Roberto Mota. Up next with the Language Arts Awards are Mrs. Mosier and Ms. Bovis.
I would like Alyssa Martinez, Raquel Peters, and Mark Zamet to join me up here. As the other teachers said, I probably could have chosen 30 people to get this award, but we had to boil it down. And so as an English teacher, I'm picking up on a theme tonight that we have quiet leaders in this class. And these three are not ones that will draw your attention during class, usually because they're busy working. But they let their work speak volumes. They are insightful readers, and they have amazing insight and comments to make about the stories that we read, and they are proficient writers. Their work is impeccable. I have no doubt that as they go up to Annapolis High School with me, that we will be the most amazing 9th grade English people they've ever seen. Go Cougars.
here that this has been absolutely an amazing year. These 8th grade students are awesome. So all of you here, you are all amazing. But for the English awards, the first student that I chose is one that kind of came in and he wanted to always sit in the back. So a teacher thinks, you know, kid wants to sit in the back. They're trying to hide behind people. But he proved so differently. He was always participating, he helped out with others, and was just a phenomenal student all year. And that would be Joshua Frazier. You'll get your pin. Thanks, Josh. The next student that I want to recognize is one also that amazingly is very quiet, but anytime doesn't understand something or needs clarification, she does not hesitate to put her hand right in the air and say, Mrs. Bodis, I don't get it. And I absolutely love that she does this because it makes her that much better of a student by doing that. And that would be Kendra Lott. Kendra's also one of our class representatives that ran and was elected for class representative next year. The next student that I want to recognize, I've had the opportunity to teach for 2 years. I was in 7th grade last year, and so I had her in both years. And it is absolutely crazy, the personality change from 7th to 8th. In 7th, she was a quiet student. She participated, but she was very quiet. This year, no joke, the girl can talk. And she's amazing. She's come out of her shell, and she's just has a phenomenal personality, very creative, and that would be Alexis Richardson. And the last student that I want to recognize, she kind of just makes me laugh. I think she makes everybody laugh. She has a very different personality, and I absolutely love it. She thinks outside the box. She's not afraid to voice her concerns or answers about something if she doesn't understand, and I absolutely love that she does that, especially in a language arts classroom. It's awesome. That would be Jalen Taylor. Good job, girl. All right. And now I'd like to hand this over to Mrs. LeBeau, who's going to present the reading awards.
Thank you, Mrs. Bodis. Could I please have Benjamin Garibay and Vanessa Jimenez and Emily Loftus come on up. I see that we do not have Hussein Al-Sawadi with us tonight, but I do want to also recognize him. Now, several of the 8th grade students, as our winners are coming up, were wondering, what's this class? We're going to take reading in the 8th grade? And what I informed them was that our reading scores were not what they could be, should be at this particular point. And so your district thought that it was a wonderful idea to institute this semester class for the 8th grade students. And thankfully it worked, and overall our test scores have come up considerably. So these fine young people represent the best of the best, not only with their reading abilities, but also their love of reading, their enthusiasm for reading, and then also their fantastic work ethic. So I want to recognize each of these people. Thank you. And next, I'd like to call Ms. Morris up for the computer awards. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Mrs. Morris. I am the computer teacher here at Best. All these students hold a really special place in my heart because when they started 6th grade and they were nervous coming here, I too started here at OW Best, nervous as I'll get up like I am right now. But I've watched them grow into amazing students, and I'd like to honor a few of these students. The first student, all these students have gone above and beyond of what I've asked of them. Some of them have helped me outside of school, some of them have stayed after school with me. They do put their best effort into everything they do, and they attempt to perfect everything, and the following students are just amazing. Lizandra Barbara. Robert Renee, on top of that, always made me laugh, and I don't see him anywhere, so. Thank you. Andrew, where am I at? Andrew Reedier. And of course, Nathan Siemens. And how could I forget? Michelle Chappell, get up here. I have 3 more young ladies I don't have a pin for, but I want them to come up. They came to me 6 weeks ago and they begged me, asking if they could create a video yearbook of some sort for the 8th grade class. And I thought, no way, not in 6 weeks, they couldn't do this. I said, go for it. And I kind of sat back and watched and facilitated after school and during school, and they took picture after picture after picture and created this amazing video on their own. So Nuriette, Miss Haley Timmons, and Sarah Bondi. At the end of all the awards, this video will be shown. They're awesome. And now, Mr. DiTilio and Mr. Blackwell.
Let me call the following kids to the stage for the Weight Training Physical Fitness Awards. Mark Kelke. Brad Connor. Gino Crenshaw. Shane Sanity Daniels. Joey Johnston. Dakota Lavelle. And Nathan Siemens. Were you guys doing dips on your chairs just a second ago? Okay. These students I just called out, when they came into my class, other kids wanted to be like them and follow them. They came in and they worked hard, showed lots of effort, and just worked their butts off, so I commend them. Let me introduce you to Mr. Blackwell.
There'll be a few more Phys Ed awards. Fortunately, we have the opportunity to have our students as 6th graders and 7th graders, and then we only get half as 8th graders, but that's it's our good fortune. First of all, if I could have Brandon Anthony and Alexis Richardson come up, please. These two students are, stay up here, you're not going anywhere. Elvis, get up here, come on, back up. Phys Ed Award, the Walking Award. These two guys are the recipients of the Inspiration Award. It's about having adversity. As I walked in today, I saw Brandon standing in line out there, and I goes, Brandon, how many surgeries have you had on your foot because you had a club foot? He said, I don't even know, 3 or 4. But yet when we do any running inside, when we run the mile, never an excuse, never a complaint, never walking. All right? For Alexis. Don't leave. He just doesn't follow directions well. Stand over there. All right. Alexis, overcoming adversity. Once again, we've been known to do a little bit of cardio training, and Alexis has severe asthma. Never a complaint. I would tell her, we try to tell our kids, if there's an injury, do the best you can without making it worse. I don't think she understood, because she would finish as white as a ghost, but she would always have her puffer available. Incredible sense of getting things accomplished. If these following students would come up, that would be Nuriat Ala, Lisandro Barba, Sierra Bondi, Robert Bernay, he's excused, he's at a baseball game, Jasmine Cassidy, Alyssa Martinez, Jackson Mize, Andrew Reher, Kara Roberts, Justin Stewart, and Jalen Turner, and Sabrina Watson. To echo the sentiments of my colleagues, having these kids in your class, they create an incredible class chemistry with their positive input and energy. Any class you have becomes better. Even if you have 8 knuckleheads, these guys will overcome it. It was just wonderful having these guys in class, not just for 1 year, not for 2 years, for 3 years. So great job, guys.
I'd like to introduce Mr. Barry.
That's a little bit of an exaggeration there. Thanks, Mr. Mazzano. Well, over the last 3 years, I've had the pleasure, and I really do mean that, the pleasure of having almost all of these 8th graders in my art class at one point or another. And I really, really wish that I could show all of you parents all of the awesome projects that so many of them have done, not only this year, but during all 3 years, really. And so it was a little bit of a challenge for me to narrow this down. This is always a really hard decision, but I got down to 10. I decided on 10 students who really worked hard to develop their talent and really excel among this 8th grade class in my art class. Megan Antal. Sierra Bondi. Alex Ismail. Kendra Locke. Emily Loftus. Anthony Podogel, Andrew Reher, Macy Scott, Mark Zammit, and I'll just say an extra word about this last one. So a few years ago, when I taught at the elementary schools, many of these 8th graders were kindergartners there. And I had one in particular, yes, Mark, I remember you. But I had one in particular that I really remember at Polk Elementary, and she would sit there in her seat and she would listen and watch and pay attention while all the other little squirrely boys ran around like chickens with their heads cut off. And she was just a perfect little student. And so when I was moved to the art position here at Best, I knew that class was coming up into 6th grade, and I saw, oh, here she comes. And you know, sure enough, she did an awesome job in the same way for the last 3 years. I would say one of the, if not the best, and one of my favorite art students of all time, Alyssa Martinez. She has grown a little bit since kindergarten. And let's give a hand to Mr. James.
We had an outstanding band this year, probably the best that I can think of ever. It was a large band, 53 kids. Let me bring them all up first, and then we'll talk a little bit about that. Amanda Antel, Charles, and you guys are going to come up and give these pins out for me. Yeah, Genesis and Jocelyn. Yeah, they're going to line up down here in front. Remember how we practiced? Carl Clapp, Kelsey Covington, Rio Cuevas, Ian Cutton. Band people, you're going to stay right here. Band people, stay right here in front. Once I call your name, stay up here in front. Ian, did you come up? Come up, get your pin first, then, yeah, then band. Why don't you come up and get your pin and stay put here, guys. Genesis, she's over here. Conrad Dixon. Brendan Gomez. Joanna Francis. Josh Frazier. Rachel Frazier. Ben Gerben. Jacob Brensbenick. Go around this way. Get your... Ashley Hall. Michael Hassel. Dylan Hudson-Piller. Autumn Hubbard. Chris Hutchcraft. Autumn Jablonski. Trevor Jenkins. Vanessa Jimenez, Princeton Ladd, Tristan Leonard, John Milan, Sean Marquez, Whitney Matthews, Matthew Miller, Jarla Mota, Jason Muter, Tyler Myers, Jordan Newsom, Alina Pasic, Mira Patel, Michael Reed, Mercy Reyes, Kara Roberts, Cheyenne Rodriguez, Robert Seamus, Daniel Sheridan, Doug Simpson, Kayla Slayton, Warner Small, Christian Smith, Nicole Smith, Tatiana Strong-Hill, George Tibby, Nia Travis, Alexandra Turner, Justin Wilson, Timothy Wolf. Now this group here has been living together for 3 years, pretty much the same group, and really have developed into a fine band. They do the band concerts, pep assemblies, the party Winterfest over there, and a large part of these students makes up the tech class, which does the plays, sporting events, website, yearbook, photos for that. And I recognize all of them because no one person here could be successful without the other ones together. Don't you guys agree? So working together will produce all this fine band concerts. Anyway, a big hand for the 8th grade band. And now over to Mr. McGuire for art. Thanks, guys.
All right, great job, man. I'm going to present some drama awards. Now, when I was asked to teach drama this year, I was a little concerned and a little taken back. And the wrestling coach drama going hand in hand as they do so well. And once we got started, and the kids just bought in and did a fantastic job on all 4 plays. I was so proud of them. And it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. So without further ado, I'd like to give some awards for drama. The first play we did was Bewitched and Bewildered, and Michelle Chappell. She played a high school masquerader, but she was like an assistant director in the first play and was telling me where people should go and where it should be. Thank you. Also worked the concession stand at all 3 of the other plays after she was in it and made posters and banners and was just outstanding. Bethany Sexton played Emily Blake in Bewitched and Bewildered.